Welcome. In this video, we are going to take a look at using press job specific data on our batch tickets. So what is press job specific data? Basically, we are talking about the data that will show up on a batch ticket that is only applicable to the press job generated with that batch ticket. Before we go too much further, let's take a minute and review a few key points regarding batch structure and its output. Remember that every batch generated from the Infinity software is going to consist of one or more product batches. A product batch will be something like 12 by 12 book or an 8.5 by 11 calendar. Each of these products will consist of one or more batch components. For example, the 12 by 12 book may include two batch components, a book block and a cover. When you hear the term batch component, think press job. Every batch component that exists within our order batch will result in one job on press. Keep in mind that our book block press job can have any number of book blocks in it. This will be determined by the number of orders that exist within our batch for the 12 by 12 product. Even though it is the same product, our cover component will result in a completely separate press job consisting of only cover components. So why does this matter, and how does it relate to our discussion of press job specific data? The relationship between a batch ticket and order batch is not one-to-one in most situations. A batch ticket will typically display information about the batch as a whole, but it is generated along with its associated batch component and can include attributes specific to only that batch component. So using our book and calendar example, let's take a look at this from a more practical perspective. Let's say we submit a batch of work from the Infinity software that consists of 10 book orders and 10 calendar orders. Assuming that the calendar order consists of one batch component and our max spread limit will not be hit for either product, how many press jobs will this produce on press? How many batch tickets will be generated? And what will the press jobs consist of? If you want to think about this for a minute, pause the video and click play when you're ready to hear the answer. We should end up with 3 press jobs and 3 batch tickets. Our first press job will consist of 10 book blocks. Our second press job will consist of 10 covers, and our third press job will consist of 10 calendars. Each of these press jobs will have their own batch ticket, and each batch ticket will likely have identical information specific to the batch as a whole, depending upon how that batch ticket was built. For example, they will all have the same batch ID. They could all display the total number of products contained in the batch, and they may all display a list of all batch components that exist within the order batch. This batch level detail is applicable to all of them, so it's valid to include it on every batch ticket generated. In most production environments, the batch ticket will typically be on the top of the stack. So if we have our 3 stacks of paper in front of us, one each for the calendar, the book block, and the cover, we can start to imagine that some of the data on each of these batch tickets should only be applicable to the items contained in that stack. If we want people to know exactly what's in the stack by simply reviewing the batch ticket, we can include the attribute component name and display the value. In the case of our book block press job, component name should display book block. For the cover, it should display cover. And for the calendar product, it should display calendar. Easy enough to do, but there is a catch. In the data tree that we use in the report designer, you will be able to find the attribute batch component in multiple places. Imagine looking at one of these batch tickets we just mentioned and seeing batch component name equal book block on it. Then you start flipping through the pages and they're all covers. That would be bad, right? All of the batch component attributes within the data tree are valid, but only when you use them correctly. The data tree consists of 2 context-specific nodes. These are nodes where you will find all of the attributes you need to display press job-specific data on your batch tickets. There are several press job-specific attributes that can be included on the batch tickets you create. Some of these attributes include batch component, device type, DFE, device, spread count, job unique ID, name, and created. In the next video, we will dig a bit deeper into context-specific nodes and see exactly how we use them.